Buddy, Grant Miller here, Miami Community Newspapers. Old friend Gloria, how you doing?
I'm
What
great.
what is your maiden name?
Greenfetter.
Greenfetter. And how long's your family been in Miami?
Let's see. My dad moved to Miami Beach when he was like 12 years old. So
How many years ago was that?
that's a long time.
Long time ago. And where'd your parents move from?
Well, my mother was from Boston and my dad was from New Jersey.
And they met where?
They met, my mom was a secretary. Well, they both went to UM. My mom was actually a cheerleader for UM. My whole family went to UM. So go Canes. They actually met when my mom was a secretary and my dad worked at a company and he kept walking by and he was checking her out and she was checking him out and they got fixed up.
So they've been married how long?
65 years.
Wow.
We just celebrated this
Okay,
weekend.
so you have family. Talk about your family. You got brothers,
Okay.
sisters?
I have the best family in the world. We call us the Fab Five, our family.
Okay.
Sam and Phyllis Greenfetter. And then we have my big brother, Art Greenfetter.
And what's Art do?
Art is very successful Merrill Lynch guy. He's been there forever.
In Miami?
He's in Fort Lauderdale. Right now he's in Weston. They're actually moving to Delray. And he has a lovely family. And then I have my younger sister, Joan, who you know. Everybody knows Joan.
Joan. Who's Joan?
Joan Greenfetter.
I thought her name was Joni.
Joan. She's Joni. That's her legal name, Joan. But she's a successful recruiter with Ascendo. And we're best friends. So
You and your sister.
yes.
What about
absolutely.
Art?
Art's, he's our biggie.
He's the big brother.
He's our biggie.
Okay, so you've been in the mortgage business for how long?
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess it's been just under 20 years now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Before that, I was an actuary with Ingham Retirement Group. And
Oh, you worked there? I didn't know that.
yes,
You worked for Mr. Ingham.
I did.
Mr. Ingham, as we would call him. What's
Well,
his first name? I only call him Mr.
Kenneth.
Ken. That's right, Ken.
Kenneth.
And
great
you worked
guy.
and you worked there for how long?
I worked there for like 15 years, I think.
And
yeah.
what does an actuary person do?
Well, I was like sort of an actuarial intern, and it's the mathematics and the probability and statistics of pension plans or insurance. So they figure out the rates based on actuarial tables and statistics. It's kind of boring.
Okay, so how'd you get into the mortgage business? And who's the mortgage? Who's the president of the mortgage company?
Oh, the owner of the mortgage company where I'm at?
Yeah.
Well, Daniel Rodriguez and his wife, Sonia, and some other Rodriguez relatives, I believe, and Ed Wilburn.
Ed Wilburn.
Ed Wilburn, great guy, my mentor
He is
in the mortgage business. He taught me everything.
Clarify, he's one of the good guys.
Oh, it's one of the
I don't know
best.
about his wife, but he's one of the good guys.
Mary's great too. They're
Mary,
great.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
she's a realtor.
Wait, I have
The
to jump
Riley
back.
Smith Group.
Your mother wrote a entertainment column, am I correct?
Yes.
How about that?
Entertainment news and views.
Sal.
She was she did the theater. She was a theater critic, and then my sister and I got a gig as theater critics too.
Now, Sal, what was the owner's name of the magazine? Newspaper?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We got to find that out. Hey, I remember
That
him.
wasn't
So that was
in the
40 years ago.
script.
That's 40 years ago. Your mother did it. 20, 30?
My mother's an entertainer. She's a professional. She did musical comedy and kind of like Joan Collins.
Let
Streisand.
me entertain you. You got it. Do you sing
I
too?
cannot sing. I have a terrible voice, but I have great timing. People
Speak-
cry when I do karaoke.
Oh, okay. Speak about
Seriously.
timing.
Yeah.
You might be famous. Sister Art's brother,
Yes.
but you're really famous for the dance you guys do.
Oh, yes.
What's it
That's
called?
my passion. Line dancing.
Line dancing.
Yeah.
Stand up. Let's see.
Oh. What are we going to do? Am I going to teach you?
Yeah. So go ahead.
So let's do a grapevine. Do you know what that is? It's like a weave.
You like this?
You stretch out first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to step to the right.
Step to the right.
Side, behind, on the left.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, we got to move
speak
our
up.
chairs.
You got to speak loud.
How's
Okay.
your insurance here?
Perfect. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Side,
Right.
behind, side, touch. Okay,
Bam!
just did a grapevine.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Yeah, let's
so
move on.
move on. I know we're here about mortgage business. Okay.
Yeah.
Move closer to you,
Okay.
Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about line dancing
Oh, sure.
because
Yeah.
anybody. We'll talk about mortgage.
Anybody can do mortgages. Not
Move up
everybody
more.
can
Move up.
line
Okay.
dance. Is that
So
what you're
where do you
saying?
line dance?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. I line dance locally at the Pinecrest Community Center. I take classes there from Betsy.
There's classes?
There are classes there, and I want to promote that. There's line dance classes. Helen teaches 5 o'clock. There's 6 o'clock, 7
Is it good
and 8.
exercise?
It's great exercise. I mean,
Do
come
men
on.
do it?
There's a few men. We'd like to have a few more guys. So get your cowboy
So all
boots and
cowboy men, come on out.
Well, it's not just country anymore. There's hip hop, there's salsa. We even do waltz dances.
Okay, and your husband,
yeah.
he can waltz?
George can watch the dancing.
Gotcha. Okay, but don't you girls, your clan, your group, all
Yes.
go to Broward for something?
Okay, there's some bars like Roundup. If you want to like go to bars and dance, you can do that. And if you want to go, I go to events all over the country. There's events all over the world to learn the newest dances.
And you do that?
Yeah. And then I'm in a small professional group called Southside Stampede, started by Kathy G, who's a choreographer and a dancer. And we've done some professional gigs and rodeos and things.
Oh, wait, so
yeah.
Do you meet people all over the place from these line dancing?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah.
And
You'd be surprised. The people come from all parts of the world.
So before we get to the mortgage business, remember, when you do a mortgage with her, she'll do a dance for you.
I do a song and dance to get your loan approved.
Okay, that's
every
good.
time.
Touche. Okay. All right. So how many kids you have?
I have 2 boys, Danny and Joey.
And where do they live?
Danny is currently a senior up in UCF, and Joey is a senior at FSU. So they're both
Wow.
going to be, they're not twins, but they are on different schedules, and they're both going to be, God willing, graduating next year.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
And
Very
your
proud of
husband,
them.
George, has been, I know he retired.
Oh, wait. And Danny, you were his coach in
I'm
baseball.
sure he'll remember that very well. And you do too.
I do.
Okay. But
Yes,
George just retired.
he did. A few years ago, he retired. So he's enjoying fishing and the leisure life, and I'm working. And
He's got that right.
I'm keeping him in the lifestyle he's accustomed to.
George, more power to you.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about how do you get into the mortgage business?
Well, that's a good question. So I worked for 15 years in this other business that I said it's a little bit dry. And I always was fascinated with real estate, always. I think it's so exciting, especially in Florida. I mean, they're like dream makers, life changers. You know, when you get the right property, people have made a lot of money. I've always been fascinated. And then on the other hand, I always loved math and finance.
Right.
So when I realized there was a job that you could do both together, I was ecstatic. And so, you know, a couple things happened that led me into that business, and I changed into that business, and I have been really happy with it. It really suits me.
So how many mortgages do you close a month or a year?
That's a very good question. You know, it can vary. I'll just tell you that in 2020, Fembi Mortgage closed about 2,000 loans and for about $400 million worth of loans. So
Wait. So 2,000. So you're closing.
Personally, I love
No. So you're closing
okay.
7 a day, your company. That's a lot.
Well, if that math is right,
357 times 7 is 2,100.
maybe you should be a mortgage broker.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So, and how many do you close?
I'd say I try to close at least 5 a month. I mean, that's my goal.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, keeping George in the right boat and all
So
that.
George, how did you do that? You married right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I want to get a mortgage,
Yeah.
what do I need to do to get ready for that?
Well, that is really important that people think about that ahead of time. You want to have good credit. So you want to pay your bills on time and don't extend your credit. Like you want to be like at least 50% or less than the credit limit of credit cards or things like that. You want to have steady income.
I'm in trouble. Okay, go ahead.
You don't want to go become self-employed and then try to get a mortgage. You have to have a steady income. And you want to have either assets in the bank or reserves, or you want to have rich family members that can give you gifts, because those are the 3 important things, income, credit, and reserves.
There's so many people coming from all over the country in Miami, and they're just paying cash.
Yeah. Well,
and that causes problems for people who can't afford it. We're bidding on a house, and you said, well, I'll just pay cash.
That's true. And that's
not good for you.
Well, it is good because guess what? After they close, we can do a cash out refinance. We can put a mortgage on the house right after closing for people.
For a couple points.
No points. No.
Interest, a little interest, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got some interest.
Yeah.
Got to make money somehow. But yeah, so that's good.
So what's the advantage of financing?
Well,
And financing and refinancing.
Okay, so let's start with, financing a purchase instead of paying cash, which you brought up. The benefit to that is that the rates are so low. They're historically low. And so, if you get a rate of 3%, and then you can use your money that you would have put in cash for another investment. You call your investment advisor, the stock market's doing great. You can invest in the stock market, or maybe you might want to buy another property with the cash or do home improvements. There's a lot of things you could do with it.
When you buy a house, people go, well, I put 100,000 into, I refinanced and I improve my home. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that because you're going to get your money out.
Well, you don't want to over improve for the neighborhood.
And people do that.
They do. But if you're going to live there, why not?
If you're going to live there a long period of time,
you
got to live comfortably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you were asking me about, this is a good question about refinance. Why are people refinancing?
Right.
There's a couple of really good reasons right now. One would be to, property values have gone up so much. It's a great time to get rid of your mortgage insurance. They used to call it PMI.
So if it's paid off, you don't need mortgage insurance?
Well, right? No, if the value of your house, if the equity in your house, I'm just going to give you a general rule of thumb, is about 20%. Then you can get rid of your mortgage insurance. So that's, good. Also, you could combine.
How much is mortgage insurance?
Well, it's based on like a rate table. It's a little complex. I can't really tell you that off. You have to call me and give me the parameters, but it could be $50 a month. It could be $200 a month. So it's definitely a savings to get rid of that. You could pay off a bunch of debt that you have with high credit card interest rates by taking cash out.
The other thing is, if you don't have a mortgage, your insurance changes too, correct?
No, not necessarily. You have to have insurance if you get a mortgage.
Correct. But I say if your house is paid off, you don't have to have all that.
Well, that's up to you. But in Miami, Florida,
I
would have insurance because of all the hurricanes we get. You don't want to be ending up.
Is interest rates going to go up or down?
Yes, up and down. But I will say that the experts out there predict that the rates are going to stay low for a good part of this year, and then they have to go up to meet inflation. So
sooner or later, it's got to go up.
Yeah, somebody's got to pay the piper.
Right, it will skyrocket. What's history say?
Well, I think things happen gradually because I think that the Fed does have some control over that, and they don't want to see rates shoot up and hurt people because they try to keep it artificially low to help people to be able to afford their monthly payments. So,
okay, what type of loans do you offer? And is there a better loan for certain people, age, etc.?
Yeah.
Let's do both.
Well, that's a great question. A lot of people, when they're trying to get a loan, sometimes they think, let me just get the lowest rate. Let me look online. And that's really a big mistake because really what you want to contact someone like myself or someone that's a mortgage banker because we're going to look at your individual situation and we're going to customize the plan for you because there really is a different reason to get a different kind of loan. You might want a fixed rate. You might want an interest only.
Okay, so what's the difference? You're assuming everybody's listening. What's the difference between a fixed rate and adjustable rate?
Very good question. So a fixed rate means you're going to have an amortization that's set throughout the life of the loan. So an example would be a 15-year or a 30-year amortization.
And then what's the advantage of both?
And the advantage is, the 30-year is spread out over a long time. So the payments are going to be really small compared to the 15-year.
Right.
And the rate isn't going to change. You're set with that rate. So you're on autopilot. The 15-year is great for somebody that maybe wants to pay off their house faster. They want to get it paid off in 15 years so they can, not be thinking about a mortgage payment. And typically that's going to be a lower interest rate, but it's going to be a bigger payment.
Now, some people get a 30-year mortgage.
Yep.
And they say, well, we're going to double payments.
Yep.
Or they're going to pay, instead of 12 months, they're going to pay 15 months times. What's the advantage?
There's definitely advantage to make an extra extra principal payment. Because what happens is they won't change your monthly payment, but they're going to take money off the balance of the loan. So you'll pay it off a lot quicker.
So it sounds like do the 30-year
Yeah.
and just make more payments.
I think that's
okay.
A
So
great
let's say
idea.
my payment's $1,000.
Yeah.
Do I pay $1,500 or do I make 2 payments?
Some people say just to make one extra mortgage payment a year will like take off a certain number of years. So I would say whatever you can, certainly. But if you can use that money elsewhere for a better reason, you might as well, because if the rates are so low, you're already getting the advantage of that.
On houses, let's say, well, I would say a $500,000 home, but there's no $500,000 homes around. But let's just use, how do I get my down payment lowest? How do I do that?
Okay, so that's,
like 95% financing.
Well, we actually at Fembi, we offer 100% financing for professionals. Professionals meaning doctors, CPAs,
that's not
or
fair.
attorneys.
That's not fair.
I know, but we happen to know that those people, that they studied all those years and they put extra effort into passing exams and things like that. We know that they're probably going to always have a job. And, I would like to see them expand the professional programs to other people in the medical field and the legal, there's other things that even teachers would be great. I mean, there are certain programs.
I got you, but it's a guarantee that the mortgage is not going belly up.
But you can do low down payments. If you're not one of those people, we have 95% financing. We have 97% for first time home buyers. So that's what I was mentioning, that if you go with someone that's knowledgeable, like I said, I've been doing this 20 years, so I know how to steer people. Sometimes people will just get your deal and just put you in something that they make the most money. And that's not how I work.
Yeah. All these letters, FHA, what is that?
FHA.
What is that?
That's the Federal Housing Administration, I believe. I hope I said that right. FHA is a HUD entity. And that is really geared to first-time home buyers or people. It's more lenient. You can have a higher debt to income ratio. So if you make less money, you're going to be able to afford more of a house.
Now, VA, that's
veterans.
Now, is it just every branch of the military?
Pretty much, yeah. There are certain requirements for that, but we do loans for veterans, and they can actually get up to 100% financing. So, and they're more lenient as well.
Yeah. So you can check the headphones. The question on mortgages is, do you guys do the mortgage? Do you sell your mortgages? What is exactly? Because if I go to a bank, the disadvantage of going to a bank,
right?
You're one of 100,000 people. Here it's a personal relationship.
Oh yeah, I'm a private mortgage banker is really what my title is, mortgage banker, and that brings up a great question because people ask me that a lot. They say, well, Gloria, why shouldn't I just go to my bank? Because they know me, they're going to give me the best deal. And that's not necessarily true. So the way Fembi Mortgage stands for First Equity Mortgage Bankers, Inc. So we are.
How long has that been around?
Since the 90s. It started in Puerto Rico in 1997-ish, 99. And then they moved to South Florida, and we've become one of the leading mortgage banks in South Florida. And what I did want to mention to you, the fact that we're a mortgage bank, well, what does that mean? So we're not a depository bank, where you go bring your paycheck. And we're not mortgage brokers. We're not the middleman. We are the lender. So at Fembi, for example, at any given day, we have about a $40 million warehouse line of credit that we lend. But what we do is we're a correspondent with large institutional banks like, let's say, Wells Fargo and, for example, SunTrust or Fannie Mae Direct. And then we determine where the best place to put this loan is. When I talk to you as the borrower, I get all your information and I figure out, okay, this loan would go best here. And then we underwrite in-house. We do underwriting. Everything's in-house. We have about probably 100 employees in our, Dayland area. And then when we close the loan, we fund it. Fembi funds it, and then it gets packaged and sold right away to the predetermined investor that it's going to. And that's a big advantage for the borrower and for us because we buy in bulk. The interest rates are generally better. the service is definitely better. I mean, people can they can call me on my cell phone. I've had people call me at midnight. I don't encourage that, but I'm just saying.
Okay. David Singer, who can't spell your name right, says, hi, Gloria.
Hi, David.
And Gary, good morning. I love community newspapers. I'm a fan of it. Thank you, Gary. So, David Singer, I know it's hard. Glori.
Corey. That's my Russian name.
That's your Russian name.
No. I'm just kidding.
Okay. I see over the years that the banks, when you go to a big place, it's not very personable.
Right.
Let's get back to you. So you have clients that call you sometime 10 o'clock at night.
Well, I mean, I don't always have to answer the phone, but I'm always accessible to people. And a lot of realtors really appreciate that. That's my biggest client is the realtor, because the realtors are out there selling houses and they want to know that somebody they're going to show houses and spend time with is qualified. So I do a lot of pre-approvals, and
what's pre-approved?
Sure.
Let's say I'm looking at $1 million house.
Right.
Okay. And I'm looking at it. So you say the realtors. Oh, you're my realtor. Hyphenate, you're my realtor.
Yeah.
We're looking at $1 million. So you're going to get me pre-approved. So when it's time to close, it's quicker.
Well, what happens is before they even make an offer, realtors like to make sure that they're making a good offer. Their reputation's on the line too. So we take that very seriously. So let's say Joe, the realtor out there, has a client. And so Joe calls me and says, listen, I'm going to introduce you to my client, Bob, and I need you to pre-approve Bob.
Right, it's Bob, Jose, either one.
Jose.
Josie or Yossi. Let's get all the names right. Okay.
So his wife, Maria, is going to call me, because usually the wives, they're the ones that have all the information. So she'll call me, and then I'll go ahead and get them started on a pre-approval. They'll fill out an application. I'll analyze it. And I have to call them right away, because if I wait, they're going somewhere else.
Correct. So what has made you successful in this industry? Don't say George, her husband. No.
I would say what has made me successful is my good work ethic. I work really hard. Well, I'm 100% commission. I don't get a salary or anything. So, if I don't, they say you eat what you kill or whatever. I don't know what that means, but, I have to get up early and work and make sure that I finish what I'm doing. And the biggest thing, I guess, for success is doing the right thing for the client. Always putting the client's needs first is really important. And when you do that, sometimes you lose a deal. You say, this isn't right for you, but it comes back to you.
Now, you've been at the same mortgage company for 20 years?
No. I started in a small company, and then I joined. I've been with Ed Wilburn's team for many years. I've stayed with the same team because we have a super professional.
Right.
But mortgage companies, I haven't really changed. The mortgage companies have reorganized, with the big mortgage meltdown.
But you've been with the same team.
I've been with the same team, I'd say, for
don't they have boys?
Probably 15 years.
Well, they have a kid that played baseball.
They have Katie, who now works in our office.
Okay.
Sean is also in the mortgage business, I think, with a builder. And then there's Caroline, who's still growing up.
Oh, I don't know though.
Maybe they'll come on the show.
Maybe. Okay. What attracted you to the mortgage business? We didn't get to that. I mean, you're in the finance world, then you went to the mortgage.
Well, I was in the finance world, and the retirement business is so tough. I mean, you have to know so many different things. You have to know accounting, finance, investment, ERISA rules, the IRS, all that. And I just never felt like I could master it the way I wanted to. And I was behind my desk all the time working on all these deadlines, and I never really got out. And when I got into the mortgage business, it was great because the first thing I did was contact every attorney I knew. I knew a lot of attorneys. I went to UF. I grew up in Miami. So I went to all the Palmetto schools. I went to UF. I went to UM. And
went to UF for what? Undergrad.
Yeah.
And what was that in? What did you get?
I was studying math, and then I was recruited to transfer to UM for the actuarial science program. My dad happened to be the director of employee benefits at UM at that time. So
Excuse me a second.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. So you got a master's there, or you finished?
No. I got a bachelor of I guess a BA. It was a BA in finance and math.
You remember a little kid who would rock?
I know.
I got to hold you down.
Okay, I won't do that.
Okay, so you ended up graduating UM with what degree?
A Bachelor of Arts in mathematics and finance minor. So yeah, so it's all about the numbers, and that's why I think I bring something a little different to my business than maybe a lot of other mortgage people. Maybe they didn't have the background in that, and not to say they're not great mortgage people, but I do analyze it very carefully. But what I love, like you were asking me, I think what I love most about it is getting out with people. We do a lot of functions with realtors. There's a lot of networking. So it's very enjoyable to me to reconnect with people. One of my friends, Missy, is a realtor. And
Missy Salzman.
Maryland. And
wait. What's that name?
Maryland. Yeah.
No, it's Missy.
Okay, it's Missy. But, she was actually the first person that gave me a shot when I first started the business. I contacted her because I didn't know her that well, but I knew her from high school. Now, of course, we're dancing together all the time. And she was the first person I called, and I said, would you give me a chance? And she said, of course. And that's how things started. And I started contacting other friends. And from there, it blossomed by doing a good job for people.
Right. You could have many friends.
Forget it. They're
right.
Not,
exactly.
They're not calling you.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. With another comment, Gloria and Missy make a great team, whoever Kathy is.
Oh, Kathy Gurgion. Kathy G is the line dance. That was our line dance mentor. And she still is, but
Kathy, we're not worthy.
You ever heard the dance, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy? That was her. She choreographed the dance to that, and it's still famous to this day. If you go to Roundup, you go to any bar. So hi, Kathy.
Kathy, we love you.
Love Kathy.
Okay. All right. So mortgage business.
Yes.
It's rocking and rolling now.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting, though, where, there's always a theme in every business. And right now, I know the realtors can attest to this. There's very little inventory out there because everybody wants to move to Florida for some reason. Like they're moving. My last couple of clients were Californians and New Yorkers. They want to be here for various reasons. And so there's a lot of competition on the houses. So I do a lot of pre-approvals, which is great. I'm getting the business, but then will my offer get accepted? The one that I wrote the letter for. Correct.
Then it usually goes higher.
Yeah.
And you have to
that's a good point. And, the appraisers can't keep up. The values, when we get our appraisals, they're based on a snapshot.
Let's just say it's a snapshot. I'm using around $1 million. Then the next person says, I'm going to pay 1.1.
Exactly.
The appraiser says, no, it's only worth 1.
Right.
That's why they pay cash. They don't have to go through the appraiser.
Not everybody has $1 million in cash.
Right.
Maybe your friends do. Some of my friends do.
Your
Some
friend,
of them don't.
Yes. Most of your friends do. Okay. So we're going to jump to something else.
Okay.
Okay. Can you handle it?
I think so.
You sure?
I hope.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. What's this?
Hold on.
I see props coming out.
Okay.
There's like food or
props,
something.
Everything. Okay. You ready?
Okay. Are we playing catch?
All right. You ready?
I think. Are you gonna?
Your favorite cowboy?
Oh, Toby Keith. Is he a cowboy?
Yeah, it's close.
To me.
Okay. Favorite cowboy movie?
Let's see. Well, I guess it would be True Grit. True Grit. Wow. That was a good movie.
Favorite taco restaurant? Go.
Oh gosh. Well, that's a good question because I'm very picky about that. I like the one in Pinecrest. What's that?
Taco Rico.
Taco Rico.
By Howard LeBron.
Really good. Yeah.
Favorite hot dog place?
Oh, Our Betters.
You got it.
I watched the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite football team? Pros.
Oh, well.
College.
I like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, college.
Well, that would have to be the Hurricanes.
Okay.
They were like a winning team when I went, big time.
Your favorite burger place?
Royal Castle.
No, that's aging you. Favorite.
I like BurgerFi. I think it's pretty good.
Okay, good question.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite gift for Christmas? Okay, Hanukkah, whatever. During the holidays, what's your favorite gift as a kid?
Oh, as a kid? Oh, well, that would have to be the Susie Homemaker oven.
Okay.
Except my mom took the plug out and I couldn't cook them.
Your favorite pizza place?
Well, they don't have it anymore. My Pie.
Give me another one.
Okay. I like Anthony's Pizza.
Okay.
I think it's really
Do you live?
good.
Where do you live? Not your address. What's
Palmetto
this?
Bay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ready? Here's the tough one. Your husband's birthday. Go.
June 10th.
Your kids.
Danny's 4th of July and Joey's April 6th.
Your sisters.
September 27th.
Your brother.
April
That's close.
April 7th.
Your mother.
July 15th.
Dad.
April 16th.
Arthur's kids.
Oh, Lord, I don't have their birthdays.
Wait. What Arthur?
Okay, wait.
Arthur, can you
Okay.
imagine your own sister doesn't know where your kids?
I do.
Okay.
I know that
All right, Joni-
Spencer is summer solstice. Is that June
Okay.
21st?
Close.
Okay.
You only have one?
Allie. Oh, geez.
Allie, sorry, got you.
October 24th.
That's close. October's close.
6th.
Joni's son.
Oh, my gosh. Can we play another
No,
game?
next. Do you have a mother-in-law?
She's deceased.
Father-in-law?
Deceased.
Okay.
Okay.
So you get out of that one. Okay. Look at that. Wow. Gloria's an amazing loan officer. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa.
I know that
appreciate
name. Where
that.
do I know her from?
I don't
Whatever. Your superhero as a kid.
Oh, well, that would be Superman, of course.
Okay. Where do you eat chicken when you go out? Your favorite
Chicken.
place?
Oh, gosh.
Like Joe's
You know
Stone
what?
Crabs has great chicken.
I love La Granja chicken.
Okay.
That is really
Okay.
good.
When you go out to
In
eat,
Fort Pierce, that one.
where you go out to eat, where's your favorite place you eat fish?
I like Golden Rule.
There he is, locally owned. Palmetto
I
grad, Pam and Walter Flores.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. In words, not sentences. Thanksgiving. Give me some words. What you like about Thanksgiving? Words.
I like because we go to my brother Art and Lori's house and we have a big group. We get a big group and everybody makes a dish. So you get great recipes.
Where does he live?
Right now in Weston. Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 more questions.
Okay.
2 more questions.
All right.
Your favorite animal?
One that I don't own. Someone else has.
It's like a boat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least,
Uh-huh.
the magic of the mix. Why is your mortgage company the best in town?
Wow. I think it has to do with the people and the products and the systems. You know, everything's automated. We're always at the cutting edge of technology and the people there are super professional. Most of them have been there a long time. They know the business. They care. We want to make loans close. We don't want to decline loans. We want to make them work. We all work together as a great team.
Here's a great advantage of using your mortgage company.
Yeah.
Compared to a bank.
Mm-hmm.
The bank that's home office in New York, California. All your people live in Miami, correct? All your
Well, we also have a Puerto Rico office.
No, but I'm saying the staff
we have
here all live in Miami.
The staff in our office
right. All live in Miami and they understand Miami. They understand the values of all the communities. So that's a major reason. Shop local, buy local. Gloria's been here how many years?
How many years?
You've been
here?
Yeah. We're trying to find out how old you are.
No, I'm 39. Woman never tells
wait, you got another one.
Grant.
Cynthia. Teamwork. Who's Cynthia?
Oh, Cynthia's one of our processors. She's terrific. We work together and, we have, it's sort of like if you think about a car wash, you take the car through and it gets vacuumed, then it gets sprayed, then it gets dried. So that's what happens with a loan. It starts out with me and I design the loan and then I put it into the setup department and they order the appraisal and the title and the condo questionnaires and then they move it forward to a processor and the processor preps it and then it goes to an underwriter and then everybody kind of does their thing and all along the way there's checks and balances which make sure it'll go through. So
well, Gloria, it's always an honor to see you. She lives in the area, lives in Palmetto Bay, Pinecrest. You've been here forever.
Yes.
Where's your house that you grew up in?
Pinecrest, but it wasn't Pinecrest back then.
What was the address? Do you remember?
Well, now I believe they call it Little Palmetto Island.
But you lived on Palmetto Island?
Yeah, 71st Avenue.
That is, people don't realize Pinecrest has an island. It's really not an island. It's a canal. You go over a bridge, right. But it's called Palmetto Island.
Yeah.
And those 2 streets, up to 2 years ago was the best place to be on Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no cars driving that road and thousands of kids. It's a safe neighborhood.
Best.
Yeah.
Well, back when I lived there, we didn't call my mother said we didn't know where, we called it Kendall because there was no,
right.
But I have to tell you a great story. My mom and dad, I was probably a couple of years old, and they lived in Coral Gate in a little house, and my mom was pregnant with Joni, and she said to my dad, we need a bigger house. So she just got in the car and drove. She drove and drove and drove and landed on that spot. And she's just like, I love it here. She looked, and they were building the houses.
What year was that?
It was like, I believe it was in the 60s.
People don't realize, I grew up at 136 and 74th Court.
Right nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember looking 4 blocks. And there was no houses.
No. And the Falls was like, weren't there crops there or something?
Yeah, we used to go strawberries, rabbit hunting. Joni. Wow. Great interview, Grant. Joni, Gloria is the best sister. Oh, yes. Not only because she's my sister, she knows the mortgage business.
Thank you, Joni. I'll give you that $10 later.
All right, Joni. All right, we're going to wrap it up. You did a great job. You were nervous?
Thank you. No, I'm not nervous at all.
Your mom would have been here.
I'd be more nervous if I was up dancing in front of everybody.
And line dancing, I don't do it, but I hear everybody who line dances, your group loves it.
We have so much fun. And it's, there's a lot of counting involved. So, I like counting.
Yes, absolutely. And speak about counting, you can count on her for the great mortgage. Everybody, have a great day.
Yeah. And you can find me at gloriaanderton.com.
Bam. That's it.
Yeah.